Hi guys, my name is Katsy. Welcome back to another video on the channel. Today, we finally did it. To many large creators, it might not seem like a large deal, but I set a goal. A goal to hit 500 subscribers by the end of 2022. And as of making this video, I achieved that goal while only being August. So we hit the goal months before I set the goal too. And I just want to express my gratitude real quick. 500 might not seem like a lot to people, but for me, it's 500 people who like me enough to actually be dedicated to watching what I put out, which is way more than I ever expected going into it. Thank you again. Now, I posted a poll on my Twitter asking what you guys wanted to see me do to give back, and you guys voted for the option I was not expecting, which was a draw my life. Now, I've tried to do this before, but I either misspoke because I was nervous or was scared to share, so I didn't share it exactly how it happened, and that has gotten me in trouble before, and I'm sorry for that, but this time, let me make a promise. I promise I will not hold back. I will be honest and kind about everything, though there will be some jokes, because that's just how we do things here, so let's get into it. Hi, my name is Christy. I'm an 18-year-old YouTuber. I was born on December 7th, 2003, so yes, the age adds up. I didn't fail math, I swear. And I was born on the steps of a fire station in Washington State. I was hot even then, am I right? No. So my birth mother had a drug addiction problem. The drugs she did have definitely messed up my life a bit. I have a disorder called autism spectrum disorder, which took me a really long time to be honest with you guys about, because I was embarrassed of the condition for the longest time. However, I've been working on it and it's easier for me to talk about now. But because my birth mother was homeless and, did drugs, I was put into the foster care system and I was adopted by a couple, 55-year-old man and woman, who I know as my real parents today. For simplicity, I'm just going to refer to my adopted mom as mom because that's how I've always known her. Sorry if that's confusing. But when I was 2, a number of interesting things happened. My at the time foster parents ended up adopting me! Yay! And my biological little brother was born and taking door care. Boo! I'm just joking. I love my brother even if I don't show it. Anywho, I couldn't write because of my fine motor deficiency you guys can probably tell I have based on how shitty this art looks. But I was a storyteller. I had so many stories, and I forced my mom to write the stories out for me while I told them to her. I really wanted to be an author back then. Storytelling has always been my thing. Growing up, I was homeschooled. I felt really lonely and resented my mom at the time for this. But little did I know they were just trying to protect me because kids with a condition like mine were often ridiculed. No one was anywhere near us. We lived on a farm in the middle of nowhere, and I honestly never enjoyed it. I felt very lonely, like I said, and I dreamed of living in the city, even though my parents hated the city. I was homeschooled until 2nd grade, when my mom sat me and my brother down and told us she'd been diagnosed with stage 4 cancer. At the time, I didn't know what cancer was, so I cheered with joy at the fact that I would get to attend public school, and my aunt was coming to visit. I regret this now, knowing what I know, but I was young and dumb. When I started school, I learned how brutal children actually were. Seriously, if there's World War III, the United States should just send in children. We dominate and win so easily just by because they'd roast the shit out of people. I had to go back to 1st grade because when I was homeschooled, we realized my parents forgot to do one thing, teach me how to read. Oh no! So I had to go repeat the 1st grade and learn how to read, which I hated at the time, but thankfully, I'm not illiterate anymore. Oh my god. I got bullied a lot. As someone who didn't understand it, I'd start crying. I remember one time back in 1st grade, this girl yelled at me and I started crying and ran up to the PE teacher. He got really annoyed and placed me in timeout for crying. I was also really feminine and I got bullied relentlessly for this as well. Kids didn't know this, but I'd get bullied at school and go home to my sick mother. I was hurting a lot from this. I felt just as lonely as I did when I started school, if not more. Then, in 3rd grade, her condition got worse. And she was terminal. She started going in and out of the hospital, and if I didn't have one of the best teachers I've ever had in the history of that school year, I don't know if I'd made it through. Then, the next year, in September of 2014, when I was in 4th grade, my mom's cousin and my aunt were here, and me and my brother were playing on our phones, or whatever device we had, I think it was tablets, when my dad came out and told us that my mom had passed away. My brother was broken and cried so much, but I cried so much before this. I really didn't cry. I was relieved. This long weight had been on my shoulder. This long weight on my shoulders had finally been lifted. The next day, my brother and I went to school, and we were pulled out of class, and the school counselor told my grade level of 14 people that already didn't like me that my mother had passed away. It was fine for the first day, but after that, I got bullied for it, so that was great. A lot of people there tried to blame me for her dying, which it took me a while, but I realized there was nothing I could have done to prevent it. Now that she had died, my aunt would fly out to visit more regularly, which I kept it to myself, but I was often more upset by her presence than happy. I told her one day my favorite color was pink, and she got mad at me and was in disbelief and insisted it was blue and I was mistaken. You see, at the time, I was not living life as a female, but I would get extreme sadness or discomfort doing things with the, quote, other boys. I thought this was normal, and everybody felt this way and just dealt with it, but I eventually learned otherwise. In 5th grade, I had the worst teacher I've ever had. She didn't respect my IEP, which means I have a disability, and there are several accommodations she was required to give me and uphold, but she didn't. There was even a time that she pulled out my written writing and complained in front of the whole class she couldn't read it, even though she knew about my fine motor condition. My dad would get the principal involved, and he'd talk to her, and she'd say, yeah, I'll do this, but then go straight back to her old ways. This year, I got a brain and started, that year, I got a brain and started Googling what you do if you're being bullied, and it said to report it. So I told her, and she just said I needed to get a thicker skin and didn't do anything about it. Then on the last day of school, I was making up a homework assignment, and I was working really hard. But then she pulled me out of class and brought me to the principal's office, and I was like, why? And she said she didn't believe I was working since I was holding my pencil wrong. Once again, a part of my fine motor condition, and she could tell by looking at my homework I was working. I told the principal what happened through tears, and I was confused, and he just said we had really misunderstood each other this year, and I went home. Also, in 5th grade, I made one short friend for a very short while I moved to our school. We had a sleepover one time, and I was innocent, and I didn't want to explain to my dad. My dad never explained to me what the, quote, devil's tango was. And this kid tried to pressure me into doing, as we're going to quote it, the devil's tango, so I don't get demonetized. I kept saying no, but he kept pushing, and I went to sleep, and the next day, I don't know, I had a weird sort of feeling something wasn't right. I don't know what happened, because I wasn't awake, but, Anywho, I was a dumb 5th grader and started blabbering that this kid tried to pressure me into something and was terrible, which wasn't a lie. I just should not have gone about that in that way, though I don't feel like I owe this kid anything, because no is no, okay? I want you all to understand that no is no, and your no matters, and your consent matters, so I hope you guys understand that. But the school caught wind of this and didn't believe me and forced me to apologize, so yeah. And ever since then, I've been an anti-confrontational rule follower. Because that's just the way I've been ever since. One cool thing did happen in 5th grade. A couple years prior, back in 3rd grade, I downloaded a game on my phone called Minecraft. I tried to play it, but I didn't know what I was doing. As some of you may comment, I still don't. But I never tried it, but I never tried it again. So I never tried it again. But I wanted to play again because I needed a distraction. I didn't know how though. So I looked up a tutorial on how to play and I discovered this beautiful thing called YouTube. I got infatuated with content creation and I discovered this YouTuber called Little Kelly Minecraft, who quickly became my favorite YouTuber. She made something I'd never seen before, called Minecraft roleplays. I decided, as a storyteller and huge fan, I wanted to do this as well, and created my channel in December of 2015. But I didn't post my first video until March of 2016, which was a Hunger Games video. I then made roleplays and built up a small but loyal following I feel lucky to still have behind me today. I created this channel as an escape, and now I do it hoping I can bring that to someone else. In 6th grade, the bullying got worse. All these farm kids went back to their little farms with the sheep and the pigs and cows and learned about the LGBTQ community. So when I went back to school, these kids insisted I was a part of it, and they were disgusted because homophobic. And I got harassed for coming off as not straight. Then I would cry and the kids would film it and laugh. Not only this, I've always had to prove I'm not some stupid idiot, even today. Even back then, I've always been bullied for my low intellect, and it's something I've always been insecure about. However, luckily, I only had to deal with the torment for 1 more year because my family had enough of this conservative, hateful area, and we moved away to the small town I live in now. Now, even though I have a couple of friends, I'm still what you would describe as a loner, but still, it's miles better than the farmlands I grew up in. In 2017, I met my first real YouTube friend, Cheerly, who you've seen on my channel quite a lot. And seeing them grow up into a strong person has been great. She's a great friend and YouTuber. She introduced me to several other friends, Jake and Nessa. They're cool as well. Then in 2018, I started looking into something. I met a lot of LGBTQ plus people in my town, and I learned what being transgender was. I realized what I was feeling was not normal, and came out to my dad as trans in the summer of 2018 and started transitioning in February/March of 2019. And I would not trade it for the world. I'm so much happier finally getting to live life as a female, which I've always wished I could, and now I can. I was surprised because the aunt I mentioned earlier that didn't want me to do anything feminine, she was actually one of the more supportive people, which meant a lot to me. Sadly though, in the summer of 2019, she passed away, so she's no longer with us. During high school, I got even more into a thing I did in middle school, which is theater! I met a couple amazing friends from theater, and doing all these plays, even though it's led to less videos, it really makes me happy. And theater and acting is so much fun. Of course, I still have to deal with homophobic and hateful people, but there's still a good community around me. December of 2020, I was hurting, as I kind of had a major falling out with my real friend, so I needed another escape, so I joined a beautiful server called the Machinima Hub. It is an amazing server that I love with all my heart, and it's allowing me to make even more friends outside of my YouTube squad, and I've become really close and have extremely tight bonds with several other content creators. All the content creators that are my friends, you know who you are, and I want to say thank you for being amazing. Then, last year in 2021, I got into contact with my birth mother. We emailed back and forth, though she's still not really on her feet, so it takes months to officially hear from her again when she gets access to a computer, but it's okay. This year, as of scripting this and hopefully recording it, I'm going into my senior year of high school! It's really crazy. I'm nervous, but really excited. And to those that will stick around for me, ride around me for the ride, I can't speak, thank you. Now, my biggest problem with most trauma lives is that they portray the ending as the end of the story, the happily ever after. I'm not gonna do that. My story, our story, it's not over. We have so much to do, learn, and grow. And I really hope you guys will stay around for the ride. It would mean so much. Once again, thank you guys for 500 subscribers. It really means a lot. And for those of you first finding me from this, welcome to my channel. If you guys enjoyed this video, please be sure to like and subscribe and hit that bell so you never miss a single video, and comment something down below so my vids can be pushed out. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you guys next time. Bye!